So, welcome to this session. My name is Håkan Korén from Eurostep Group. I've been working there for a long time. I was actually one of the founders of Eurostep 21 years ago. I will have the pleasure to do this presentation together with Trond Zimmermann from Volvo Group. And he will do most of the presentations. I have a few slides here as an introduction. And we will talk about, the topic is taking PLM collaboration to the next level for strategic joint venture product development. It will be, I guess, a case studies joint venture related, but what Trond is presenting is a little bit broader than that, but you will hear that. And just sort of reflecting, I was here 1 year ago, not with Volvo, but with Siemens turbines, Siemens Industrial Turbo Machinery. A person called Christopher Thoresson, and then we presented on a similar topic. Last year we talked about secure data sharing in the extended enterprise. So this is similar, but yet a little bit different. We have, of course, continued to work with the Siemens implementation, and also since almost a year back working now with the Volvo Group as well. And this is sort of one of my few slides. This is a slide I used last year. It's about our software, ShareSpace. And different, I think, from what we heard a lot this morning. This is a software not for internal PLM or internal ERP. This is really software designed for collaboration. And then you have to focus on a few things that are different from if you do an internal PLM thing. Security, we have heard it in many presentations today, is important. Ownership of information, protecting IPR. Identifiers on the items is very critical if you want to share data with others. That you get notifications across the company borders, consolidating information from different sources, and of course, integration aspect. Integration with authoring software and team data management software, and this adding complexity in heterogeneous environments. Because if you work with suppliers and partners and customers, there is no way you can really control everything they have in terms of processes and IT systems. So what ShareSpace is a design for a quick setup for new collaboration projects. And we don't really interfere with the internal processes and internal IT system at the partners. Because if you start to do that, it, again, takes forever. Especially if you have a sort of a complex network you work with. It's standards based and it really covers the full life cycle. So from requirements to end of life in the first phase and then back again, as Peter Bellel was mentioning, the multi-life cycles support we need to have today. We can in ShareSpace also, of course, support native CAD files, PDF documents and so on. And what we are doing, we are not excluding data exchange, but we don't really see that as the future. And someone was mentioning sharing today. I think it was Joss doing that. And that's really the future, because data exchange, as one person from BA Systems said, the better you are at data exchange, the worse is your situation in terms of configuration management. Because you send a lot of stuff around, and in the end you don't really know what is where and who's doing what on what version of the information. So with that, I'm done. Remember, I have 3 slides in the end. Meanwhile, I will watch the World Cup and report to you. Trond is more keen on that.
Okay. My name is Trond Zimmermann. I work for the Volvo Group in the technology division. I'm a PDM portfolio manager, which means that I'm responsible for the continuous evolvement and improvements of our PDM solutions used across the group, and also the maintenance of those solutions. I have had my position basically for 4 years now. That's about it. Taking PLM collaboration to the next level for joint venture product development. That's the title. This is the table of contents that I will bring you through. First, a few slides of what the Volvo Group Trucks technology is. Then I will let you in to understand what kind of business challenges and scenarios we foresaw basically 1.5 years ago, while being challenged with a particular joint venture, which I will come back to, the establishment of a joint venture company. I will talk then about some collaboration requirements that we have and have had. Also get you shortly into the solution selection criteria that we used while in the pre-study phase of the of the projects and of the roadmap that we're now executing on. And at last I will get you through the performed implementations and reflect on the lessons learned so far. Okay? The Volvo Group organization consists of 3 main divisions, one for sales, one for operations, and one for research and development, named technology. The truck business constitute somewhere in between 70 and 75% of the group turnover. So that's the main thing. Then in the Volvo Group we also have construction equipment, the business areas with Volvo Buses and Volvo Penta, and also Volvo Financial Services. So I work in the top right box. The Volvo Group vision is to become world leader in sustainable transport solutions. And to become world leader, you need to partner. You need to partner a lot. You need to engage in various ways. For instance, through the establishment of joint ventures, getting breakthroughs in new markets and so forth. And that's sort of the group vision trigger for what we have done in terms of collaboration management solutions lately. The Volvo Group Trucks technology is divided into a few organizational blocks. We have the technology product project parts with product planning, advanced technology and research, and basically project management organization. And then we have the big bulk of engineers that work in either complete vehicle, powertrain engineering, or vehicle engineering. Vehicle engineering then consists of chassis, cab, and powertrain installation. And those are all engaged in supplier collaboration, partner collaboration, collaboration towards joint ventures. What's worth to mention here is also that the Group Trucks technology does not only have a responsibility towards the truck business, but also to some extent, and it could vary a little bit, towards Volvo Buses, Volvo Construction Equipment, and Volvo Penta, taking some responsibilities, sometimes less, sometimes more, towards their development or research and development. These are the main Volvo Group brands. Of course, Volvo, as you can understand, where we have trucks, buses, construction equipment, and marine applications. Other truck brands is Eicher Trucks, which is performed through a joint venture. Dongfeng Commercial Vehicles, which is sort of the subject of the rest of the presentation, because that has been the setup of that one has been the driver for what I present and what we have done lately. We have Mack Trucks and UD Trucks and Renault Trucks. And on the buses side, we have Nova Bus, Prevost, and Sunwind as the additional brands, and for construction equipment, SDLG. Okay? That's it. Volvo Group Trucks technology. What about the business challenges and scenarios then? Overall driver to what we have done during the last 1.5 years is the announcement of the Volvo Dongfeng joint venture company, Dongfeng Commercial Vehicles. That was announced in January 2 years ago. And that was basically settled a month ago, exactly 2 years after. Then the company was started up. It was originally intended to be up and running, this joint venture, in 1 year, but it took 2 years due to multiple reasons. But now there is a finished agreement and the company has been established. I will of course not go into product plans and details in how Volvo will relate to the joint venture company. But related to the joint venture company setup and also its carrying through, sort of, we foresee and we have had in mind a set of basic scenarios for how to perform collaboration management and to be supported by a set of solutions. One being knowledge transfer, where one party bring basically product knowledge, component knowledge to the other one. One being product transfer, where one company supplies the other company with components, main components, or basically that. And in between, you could say, scenarios where we perform development collaboration, where one party is responsible for a development, but when that will be brought into the products of the other, and vice versa. And also we have or foresee, and that is maybe not from day one, as you can understand, but some kind of maintenance collaboration phase that will be about for decades at a later stage. Connected to these requirements or these basic scenarios, we are also preparing and we have also developed processes and IT solution support for cross-functional development, you could say. Not only engineering, but also purchasing, sales, manufacturing, and aftermarket preparation. And that is brought into the pot as well, into the complexity of these scenarios. Still 1.5 years ago, one and a half year ago, we concluded basically that we had, regarding ourselves, that we had many areas for improvement with regard to collaboration management. Our experiences and lessons learned comprise the experience that every time or very often when we are to engage with a development supplier or a partner or even a joint venture, because we had previous experiences, we are always getting, as a process and IT organization, we're always getting very short notice on the detailed business requirements and what is basically written in the business agreements. Okay, that was one part. Often requests in that sense were often poorly specified on a process level without the prerequisites that external users should be let into Volvo applications. That is sort of the easy way in or out, or how you see it. A way that we have had and still have actually to mitigate this circumstance was to limited access enable a portion of our critical or core applications, to restrict data access in those. And we have many of them in the PDM domain. However, they have always been been developed and are maintained more or less in an ad hoc manner, not bringing in a complete sort of end state map perspective onto their development. And we have also experienced that a lot of these solutions, and also the usage of SharePoint applications and similar things, have their limitations. It is not always possible in a legacy application to fully protect what is not subject to collaboration, so to say. So that when you share a portion of your product information, quite often a little bit extra platform information slips into what is transparent or visible. We have also experienced that once a setup for collaboration towards a partner or supplier or a joint venture have been established, there are almost no ways to change, sort of to shift processes or to shift into other solutions. Then you are stuck more or less. So with this sort of experience base, we concluded that, well, we need something more, we need something better, we need something more scalable, persistent, or everything that you can imagine. So we stated onto ourselves, onto the business, and got buy-in from the real business, a collaboration management vision. That was to provide scalable tools and processes to support effective and secure external collaboration management and information sharing. Divided into that we wanted capabilities to effectively establish and modify setups, ease to get up and running, to mitigate the circumstance that when the business agreement is settled, you have almost no time to be up and running. Efficient and controlled and efficient information sharing, and two-way confidentiality, integrity, and availability in relation to our joint venture partners, development suppliers, and others. And this vision has been really good to guide us through. And we argue, or I argue internally, that it is okay, that it is really an enabler for reduced lead times and thus to become an agile partner, which is needed if Volvo is to become the world leader in sustainable transport solutions. So that is where sort of the connection is to the second slide. Also a retrospect slide. This is not what we have today, but what we foresee a year and a half ago in terms of what we had and in terms of what we wanted. We had an as-is with, to some extent, limited access enabled solutions with no overview of rules, risks, and incorrect authorizations, and non-consolidated view on information, high risk in terms of information leakage. It was costly and hard to maintain, and still is. And it required extensive training in Volvo processes and solutions for our partners and suppliers as well. What we imagined in terms of to be was some kind of collaboration space which could connect to our internal service-oriented architecture, that could connect to our in-house applications through our PLM service bus. That would bring about a consolidated view on information and facilitate project management across entities. That would provide us support in structured role and identity management. That was maintainable. That could provide structure in context, regardless of what context. That could be quick and to set up. That would be scalable, and that could support many use cases. Okay, so this is actually one of the sort of sell-in pictures that we used at that time to get things started. Okay, that was business challenges and scenarios. Now let's get into some collaboration requirements. The business value connected to a collaboration management solution. We have divided them into information management capabilities and also collaboration management capabilities. And I will dig deeper into those in next slide, basically. But you could understand what kind of capabilities that we outlined and have outlined in the left part of this slide. But the connected business values towards the information management and the collaboration management capabilities reside in reduced lead times in development and in collaboration, increased delivery precision, transparency towards management on both sides, homogeneous interface for information exchange, and reduced cost of resources. The key features that we started with, and I will come back to the prolongation of those in one of the next slides, but relates to performance to structured dressing of components, where we categorize parts with agreed attributes, where we can dress parts with clean technical documentation. Controlled information sharing, where we could exchange information with version control, where we could have a published workflow that includes not only the engineers owning the information, but also those that are intended to supervision the collaboration. Traceability of what has been shared by whom and when, and also secure information sharing when it comes to access, authorization, and security zones. Least and not last, a controlled and limited flow of request issues and questions. We want to, and I think we have managed to funnel the collaboration through this solution in a very good way, excluding almost the necessity for other means of communication than what is intended or what is subject for collaboration. This is the capability view that we have on collaboration, and I could admit that in the right part it's a little bit visionary, it's still floating. But in the mid and left part of this, it's steady. And basically, this is a view on what we have implemented first when it comes to basic and initial capabilities, and what we are currently during this spring finalizing the development of in terms of what we're doing right now. We have support for collection management, document management, part management, publish and unpublish, request for information, notification management, etc. And we are now digging into and finalizing the development for the harder parts. Requirements management, structured, I would say, item management, structure management, test object management, and so forth. Not And we are emphasizing on the hard parts, which is change request handling and release and engineering changes. So we are basically now building a solution for configured products across entities from our joint venture partner back and forth. Okay. Solution selection criteria. It's just one slide, but not a year and a half ago, but a year ago, we were in the midst of selecting a solution to build as our own. We thought that we had enough of bad experiences, too many lessons to learn from. We also had rather limited time because this joint venture were coming. Then we actually got a year more than we thought in the beginning, and that was good. We also wanted to have a holistic, ambition-based approach and to put a scalable solution in place. Even though we were starting with a basic setup, it should be scalable. And the solution selection criteria that we set up regarded business requirements, conformance to enterprise architecture regulations at Volvo, company profile and vendor collaboration, solution viability, project scope and time plan alignment, and ability to support long-time collaboration vision, and of course total cost. And I would say a few of those were of course more important than others, but project scope and time plan alignment and the two first one were of course critical. And we did a selection and decided on a continued approach to use the joint development agreement towards Dongfeng Commercial Vehicles as a base, and the product projects that were planned at that time as a driver. We agreed on or decided to use agile development methods to drive development hypothesis driven, to continue to let the solution prove itself in the applications that we decided upon, to use a boom approach in terms of the base structure for sharing information, and also to establish a platform. Lessons learned then and performed implementation. This is the name of what we have today. We call the solution VICE, Volvo Information Sharing Externals. And that is now the preferred solution for sharing information with partners at Volvo. I would add on to that, coming back to the presentation a few of us had in the before noon, in some particular cases where the relation towards the supplier or joint venture is such that we are to be a little bit careful, you could say. It allows efficient and secure ways of sharing product information, and it can be used for a variety of information related to collaboration. PDM data, general information, and a lot of things therein. And it provides support for collaboration management. This is the table of contents for the solution that we have put in place before shift of year. It doesn't include the capabilities that we are realizing right now. But what we have in terms of our basic solution is the ability to manage collections, manage documents, manage parts, publish and unpublish, manage requests for information, manage notification, search, view and navigate in a nice way, I would say. In a very nice way. Manage delivery complete, manage issues, and to perform reports and exports. What is not here, but more under the hood, is that we have also in the solution managed to configure it in a way and use it in a way that we could bring in additional attributes onto documents and onto parts and such things, which enable us, which have already enabled us to bring this not only into the hardware domain, but into the software domain, and that will let us easily bring the solution into the purchasing, aftermarket, and manufacturing domains. So there is a twist, sort of on the solution that we have, and that is very nice to have now, and it's not visible in this picture. I wanted to mention that. Last slide, from me at least, the lessons learned and way forward onto the entirety of what we have done so far. I have and we have experienced that it is very good to let new businesses, significant projects, drive development of new processes, but that everybody maybe knew. But we have really experienced this in this. Hypothesis-driven development is very good if you base it on a clear vision. If you manage to promote solutions, processes onto the business, and when you have a business that has not the ability maybe to articulate detailed requirements, you cannot just come and ask for requirements. You need to promote a process, promote a solution. Could this work? And so forth. This is good when you endeavor something that is so new to the company on such a broad scale as in our case. Agile development is good. Settle basic collaboration solution and use the approach to let the solution continue to prove itself. We have found that a simple information sharing structure as a base or as a start is very good. Could be a boom approach in terms of giving a skeleton onto the information sharing that you should perform. Include not only the OEM perspective, the Volvo perspective in this case, onto solution requirements, but also partner, supplier, and JV perspectives. The importance when you bring in not only information specialists, but also regular engineers into a collaboration process. Don't underestimate the importance of an easy-to-use user interface when you do that. And then have a tight connection, secure that you or ensure that you have mutual interests and provide transparency and get transparency in the relation towards the software vendor. That's one path to succeed in your ambitions. Håkan?
Okay. Thank you very much, John, for a good presentation. So I will. This was your last slide, actually.
Oh, that's me.
So I have 3 slides. One is the favorite person to quote last year, and I've seen a few also this year, is Mr. Einstein, and we are driven by this. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. And PLM is not really super simple, and PLM collaboration is even somehow worse. And we need, as Trond is saying, we need to make it as simple as possible, really, to get buy-in for what we're doing. But there is a limitation. There is some level of complexity into this. And you can hear from Trond, even they're looking at different collaboration scenarios. So it's not just collaboration. You can do collaboration in many ways. This is sort of my second to last slide. And I just want to say a little bit what we are doing with ShareSpace, which is the software used here, and sort of link it into some of the hype words in the PLM domain today. If you take ShareSpace as a consolidation engine, really taking data from different sources, bringing them into one, the data that should be shared, bringing them into one source. We sort of touching upon master data management, big data. We certainly address data quality, IP protection, configuration management in terms of we are doing sharing and not data exchange. Many times we deliver a share space for internally doing this, and then we have another share space to address the external world. That is a perfect fit, and we are working with Microsoft today on this to have this service in the cloud, of course, and that relates to the cloud and data access and mobile and also IP protection, because again you will have a clear boundary between what's internal here and external. And last is that we see, of course, this mobile Internet of Things and bring your own device, bring your own ID, all this stuff becoming increasingly important. So what we can see, supporting devices here, as we are doing that, for example, a field engineer working on the device, connecting to the cloud, connecting to the internal share space here. You can get access here as a service engineer to data that resides in the ERP system, in the PLM system, in the technical documentation system, in some spare parts system. And that's really the kind of support you should have if to do real good service work. Finally, we are here in the exhibition, so if you want to talk with us, also Trond will be with us now for the afternoon, at least in the breaks. Come and talk to us. I think maybe we have time for one or two questions.
Hi, my name is Andrew Tate. I'm from the Royal National Lifeboat Institution in the UK. You talked about mobile engineers. Have you got that configured so that works and the mobile engineers can access all the data through ShareSpace? We
are working on it right now in some projects, yes. And we have been able to demonstrate that it works like this. I would expect that in 3-4 months' time, we will actually have a commercial application up and running like this.
So 3 or 4 months' time, how much work have you done up to this point?
I would say the complex work is really this, because ShareSpace was designed to fit. The last redesign we did with ShareSpace was to fit it into the cloud architecture. So that's not a big thing, really. If you think about information as a service, if you really want to use the scalability and all these things with the cloud, that will be later on with us. So this is complexity. How? Because all the team centers and SAPs and everything in the world, they are uniquely configured out there. So the mapping with these are the tricky part, really. And we are working on making that mapping as easy as possible. But this is sort of a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer. So the complexity is here, really.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much for coming here.